I'd love to think that if you look my name up in the dictionary next to the word resilience, my picture's right there. And I would say that a number of my section mates, my classmates, and alum that I've met, I'm sure they would share a very similar story. I always like the question of what you thought you'd be when you grow up. I thought I was going to be a firefighter. And then over time that evolved into a chef. But by the time I made it to high school, I was very much focused on pursuing a career where I knew I'd add value to other people. Before HBS, I was working in the nonprofit sector. I worked in public health for about 6 years, overseas in about 4 different countries. I had identified a real drive behind leveraging finance and strategy to make great decisions. A number of my mentors and a few of the colleagues that I worked across the table from while working overseas had backgrounds in consulting and in finance. I thought a lot of their solutions to government problems were creative and innovative and thoughtful. And so I wanted that experience for myself, and I knew HBS would be a good landing spot in order to make that pivot. I showed up at CPD's door on day one. I knew that making a pivot was going to be an uphill battle for me. And I was paired up with an incredible coach who I still work with to this day. That coach really helped me crystallize several things, one of which was to identify my career ingredients. What's my secret sauce? What value can I add to companies? Who to network with? Who are the right mentors to seek out while I was at HBS? And so I'm really grateful that I was proactive that first day, because it ultimately helped me land a few incredible internships and a full-time role post-HBS. I graduated in the midst of a recession. My original offer was to work in the investing space, and unfortunately, because of the macro environment, that opportunity fell through. And then from there, I realized, okay, I want to go back home, be closer to family. And so I took on a role as director of finance at a healthcare company. My mental model of life is I'm a marathon runner, I'm not a sprinter. And I'm sure a number of other classmates and alum have a very similar way of thinking about their personal setbacks and failures in life. For me, it was so important to just stay the course. And of course, there were times where I was discouraged, and there were also times where things just landed serendipitously, right? Being prepared for that opportunity by staying engaged and staying active and having the right attitude allowed me to capitalize on those opportunities. So getting that offer after it's all said and done feels incredible, right? And at that point, and I mean after you've negotiated and you've gone through and you've signed on the dotted line and you know where you're going to end up, it feels amazing. And so it's all about being flexible, agile, being amenable to challenges as they come about, and recognizing that life and career is not a straight line. It's a squiggly line that goes up and down, and how you deal with it and how you think about that and plan appropriately, and leveraging the resources around, such as CPD or friends and family and other mentors, is going to be critically important to ultimately achieving the success, whatever you define that as to be.